Kia ora, it's Poppy here with the current ninth wave energies of the sacred Mayan calendar. And this is the last day of the Tzolkin, so we're in 13 Sun. It's the last day of DAYWAVE 137, and it's also the last day of the 13th night of the 8th wave. So that means we've been through 13 cycles of the 8th wave, like that's a Trecina. And so that's meaning that we're coming into the day again in that energy. So things are going to be active and happening in that energy. And it really is a time of completing some big cycles. So that cycle was around the time when the unity consciousness waves came in. And there was different parts of our brains that are activated in these different cycles. So the ninth wave, which was activated on March the 9th, 2011, we've come back into the full use of the frontal lobe, the brain, which was the same that was in the shamanic era of the fifth wave, where there was unity and balance and harmony. In the sixth wave, which started 3115 BC, and that was when the Babylonian slave driving systems and all those sorts of things came in, and politics and religions and government and education. That was the left brain was favoured in that era. And then AD 1755, that was the reptilian brain, or the defense brain that was really activated. And then starting on the 5th of January 1999, that was the era that was very right-brained. So we had a lot more arts and creativity and attention that way. But from March the 9th, 2011, we've gone back into the frontal lobe use of the brain, which means that it's also inclined to come back to a unity consciousness. So children that are born in these different eras, they actually have those differences, and the children that have been born since March the 9th, 2011, quite extraordinary souls when you actually get to see and know and interact with some of those little ones. Yeah, so it's pretty intense as we finish this day wave, and the quickened light frequencies from the sun are enlightening our minds with absolute love and truth as we consciously connect. So really, let's celebrate our growth and courage to endure the challenges that come in uprising light frequencies, so incredibly enhanced by the solar maximum. This brilliant and intelligent universe exists always as our consciousness is drawn to the light of awareness, and all the more so while we are using the frontal lobe brain and more unity consciousness focused for those people that have chosen it. Many people are not, and they are still very left-brained, very and that is just where they are in their evolution. It's just the way it is. So it's also the end of the final day of the 13th night of the 8th wave. The duration of the 8th waves are 360 days long. So the 9th wave began in 2011, and this also ushered in unity consciousness, where the waves were 20 times 18 days long in the 9th wave. So this is a grand ending of cycles in many ways, and very few people out of the billions of humans living now align with the cosmo-vision of the sacred Mayan calendar, which observes the natural light frequencies emitted from the sun. And most of humanity has abandoned the ways of nature for modern-day technologies and religious programming. Sadly, their consciousness is still immersed in unnatural ways that were introduced in the sixth wave, where religion, politics, science, education, and concepts of good and bad, right and wrong, dominated through favouring of the left brain. This is a compartmentalised worldview, whereas the ninth wave is about oneness or unity. It's about integrating all our life experiences to harmonise with a natural and organic reality in connection with nature and source. So infiltration has been a major tool of separation, and it's good to know these things because then we know what to watch out for and keep ourselves safe, with that, to trust our intuition strongly so that we don't fall into these traps where infiltrations have gotten to take us into more separation. Exhaustive attempts have been made to compartmentalize and separate people from source connection and the ways and will of nature. The life and purpose of Jesus Christ was hijacked to create sacrificial consciousness that allowed blood rituals to continue through the consciousness of the Gregorian calendar, which was born out of Babylonian astrology, where sacrifices were performed to appease malevolent gods who were energy and blood hungry. And that all sort of came out of the sixth wave. It's been beautiful to connect with the true essence of Jesus, who is like a mentor to me now, very affirming and courageous. I'm really glad to have found this beauty, this connection, because I was programmed to believe in an outer saviour, but really nefariously, and it wasn't like that at all. Black magic came in with the sixth wave with spelling and the use of the writ-in word. Over time, this showed up as legislation. Papal bulls were actually written on human flesh. There was treaties, declaration, creeds, acts, etc. to control or govern and heap perceived wealth to the hierarchies that sought to control the planet, the life and death of human souls who have co-creative power based upon the choices made in life. So as souls were compartmentalized and shattered into pieces by the trauma that is present in nature and source separation, humans lost their innate gifts. So finding our true and authentic selves happens in the true and authentic presence of nature. It's in meditation that we come to observe, know, and free ourselves from what we have been evolving through. A recent infiltration, I'm just mentioning it because it keeps coming up, where people get led away and they even identify with a fake sign and everything because of this. So a recent infiltration happened in the introduction of the dream spell, which posed as the Mayan calendar through the taking of the Tzolkin. The Mayan elders forbade calling the system the Mayan calendar, but that was not heeded. So people actually seem to believe that this dream spell is the Mayan calendar when it's not. It is an infiltration. And in doing this, it's pinned it time back to the Gregorian calendar and messed with the sacred geometry of the true Mayan calendar. It's really quite genocidal, really, when you think of all the efforts that the Mayan elders and the Mayan people went through to try to preserve this knowledge for this time. Anyway, we connect to source in meditation and nature connection, and then these cosmic light energies sent daily through the sun may be observed and interacted with. Only in connection is it possible to find our way in life to transcend the captivity of the psychological operations of the sixth wave. So psychological operations, remember, it was very mental, it was very left-brained. So of course it was going to be about thinking, about mentality, psychological. The eras of source separation are closing down through those who are aware and dedicated to inner peace and integration of all our lessons learned over millennia. And through the sun, we become one within and may continue on in a new era of full presence and transcend the limits of the false time constructs that have overridden and usurped nature. We may keep evolving to break through the holds of commerce and government control in total trust in source and nature as to how this will be done. We live in an intelligent universe, and I feel confident that the sun and nature will support our lives this way. It is purely intuitive and without planning that this is done. And so many principalities, dominions, nefarious energies have been disempowered now, and their magic has returned to them, kicking them in their own butts for their efforts. They are being disabled as we rise up now in the fullness of our energy and authenticity. And I want to give a big shout out to Satanic ritual survivors all around the world who know that they came here to be a part of cleaning up this mess. They know that this was their mission and this was their purpose, to deal with these principalities, dominions and nefarious energies, to help to clear them up. And they have done an enormous effort on that, even though satanic ritual survivors have generally been kicked down, seen as very worthless, left out in the cold. It's still with this amazing, great love that we do this for ourselves, we do it for humanity, and we do it so that more children will be harmed. We know the brutality and we know the nature of those principalities and dominions firsthand when we have been at their will and their command, and we've had to bring back our will and our power. So thank you, satanic ritual abuse survivors from all around the world, for your contribution, and everybody else that has been doing that, because there are very awake and aware souls, and they are the ones that will actually support satanic ritual survivors. They do have their eyes open and they are not afraid. So it's an experience that is the fullness of love, and love that has no conditions, the full light of truth and connection that ascends us into a new beginning based upon all we have learned and how we have grown up until this day. And there are other contributing energies finishing this day wave of 9 night, which has really included a lot of deep and dreamy meditations focusing on Mother Earth's dream and will, and it has been about ending old harmful cycles and beginning cycles of natural cyclic abundance gained from the heightened eagle's perspective. There has been a lot of people clearing this up and ending this and making sure that it happens. It's been an incredible effort, and I'm really grateful for everybody who has been a part of that. So that will conclude the Star Tracina about rising frequency, harmonizing as we rise to strengthen our true soul star being to authenticity. And also because the last 9-day phase is in 5 road, where we were empowered on our destiny roads through radically rising frequency of our soul star brightness with Mother Earth soul star brightness, feeling supernova. It certainly has been super big, whatever has been happening, and many of us are going to feel far more empowered on our missions, our destiny roads. So sending lots of love to you. So appreciative for everybody that's on this journey who really loves the earth and is very dedicated to source connection, because we are the way ahead for the future of ourselves, this planet, and all the children coming through. So much love.